Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. Hello for the first time. How are you doing? I hope you're alright. I hope you're having a great day and a great week. Today's video is a coffee fudge. I like coffee, I like fudge, I like to eat fudge with my coffee, so it's a no-brainer. So I am lucky enough to have a friend who owns a coffee company. So I asked him if I could have some coffee, and he sent me coffee, and here it is. So it's coffee brand coffee. Not sponsored, just given coffee. So is that sponsored? I don't know. You may know him as Jeremy or The Quadrant on YouTube. It's a much bigger channel than what I am, and he has a coffee company as well as lots of fingers and lots of different pies. But he has a coffee company. His coffee's actually really quite nice. He has all these crazy flavours that are absolutely mental and taste really nice. So I have these coffee beans in my coffee machine right now. So we're going to use an espresso of this. So yeah, let's make coffee brand coffee fudge. So the last time I used this it almost went on fire, so we'll try it again. And I know what you're thinking. So you had a video where you looked very similar to this. Yes, I'm filming two videos at the exact same time. Why? Because I have 2 children, 2 dogs and a husband, and my time is limited. So we're going to do it all together. So if you can hear a hissing noise, that's my ham over there doing its business. This is turning on and starting to smoke, so that's smashing. So what we're going to do first is we're going to reduce our coffee. So I have made an espresso in my machine using the coffee brand coffee. I'm just going to pour it into this pot. I'm going to put it on a high heat, and we're going to reduce the coffee to essentially just a few tablespoons, if that, maybe just even 1 tablespoon. I just find it to be the best way to get the most authentic coffee taste in your fudge, and it not just taste like artificial. You can absolutely use artificial coffee flavourings, you can use coffee liqueurs, any of that kind of business, but for me this just worked better. So while that's heating up and doing its thing, we'll get rid of that cup and we'll put all of our other ingredients in this pot. So for this fudge we're going to use a tin of condensed milk, which is like 397 grams of condensed milk. The price of condensed milk right now is diabolical, by the way. I'm unamused by it. Now if you weren't watching, I would absolutely be getting a spoon for this. Right, so pour your condensed milk in there. Next we need 150 millilitres of milk. Try and use whole milk because it tastes better, and we're making fudge, so why would you not use full fat milk? Next we need 115 grams of butter. I don't have any butter, don't judge me, we're using margarine. It is what it is, mate. I can't help it. Right, 115 grams. I can't help it, I could go to the shop, but did I mention how little time I have? My coffee is doing its thing. Give that a wee stir, make sure it's not burning. And next we're going to add our sugar. So today I'm going to use demerara sugar because I feel like it's the best thing that goes with coffee. If you're having a cup of coffee, you would use demerara sugar in that. They complement each other very well. So we had 450 grams of this. I know, it's a lot of sugar. That's essentially all we need. Well, I'm going to put a wee bit of vanilla in there. Why not? Why not? And then we just need our coffee. So let's have a look. Coffee. So that was handy, so that was just in time. So our coffee, turn this fire hazard off. Probably can't see it because of the angle I'm at, but our coffee has reduced to very little, and that's what we're going to use. So I'll try and pour it out so you can see, right, but there you go. It's like not even a full tablespoon worth of coffee. But it'll be intense as heck. I'm just going to use the condensed milk in this bowl just to scrape off any coffee remnants that I can. So there we go, everything we need is now in this pot, and we're just going to put it onto a heat, and we're going to use our sugar thermometer to make sure that we don't over or undercook it. So with fudge, you're essentially trying to melt the sugar first before you put it on a boil, so that we ensure that our fudge isn't granular. So I'm going to put this fire hazard back on to a medium heat, and we're just going to stir this until the sugar's gone. So this is kind of what we're looking at just now. Nothing too exciting, just some condensed milk, sugar and butter. So we're just going to melt it gently. Once it's fully melted, you'll see, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's like a lot of granule bits that you can actually physically see. Plus, if you're using a spatula like this, you'll be able to hear the granules crunching underneath. You're looking for obviously none of that. So it's been 5 minutes and there's still a little bit of a granule feel, but not too much. So at this point, when I'm scraping the bottom of the pot with the spatula, I'm not hearing too much crunch, you know, just a little bit, and everything else is dissolved. So I'm going to continue stirring this. I'm going to continue to scrape the sides. That's why we need a rubber spatula. And we're going to turn the heat up and bring it to a boil. Not too much of like a violent boil, just a nice gentle rolling boil. And we're going to use our sugar thermometer, and we're using the Celsius side, and we're looking to get between 113 and 150. So 120 on here is firm ball. I don't know if it's showing you this properly. So that's 120, so that wee dash there is 110. So I'm happy for somewhere in between just above jam and firm ball. So we're just going to use the whip on the back to attach it to our pot, like so. It's turned all the way up, and we're just going to keep stirring. And we have to keep stirring because if we don't, it'll catch, and if it catches and burns, it's ruined. There'll be wee burnt speckles all the way through, and it'll be gross and nobody will want to eat it, and then you'll have no friends. So we're just going to keep stirring and everything will be great. So that's it starting to boil just now. The temperature that it's at is just about 100 degrees Celsius with this boil on the go. So as you see, it's not violent in any way, shape or form. It's just a nice wee rolling boil. We do need it a little bit hotter though, so just keep an eye on it, and the way I'm stirring it is just scraping along the bottoms and the sides. We're just trying to avoid anything getting stuck. What I forgot to mention as well is before you do all this, make sure you have a tin that is lined with parchment paper ready for your fudge to go into. Okay, so this is what it looks like after it has reached the 113 or 114 is what I think I got it to degrees Celsius. So we're just going to take this out of here. It's still really warm at the base of this pot. I've put it on some cork tiles so as not to damage my countertop. So because the base of it's still really hot, you do risk still burning the bottom. So just keep giving it a wee sturdy booty the now to make sure that we don't burn it, and all of our efforts are for nothing. So I'm happy that that's no longer boiling, and what we're going to do is leave it to rest for 5 minutes, and then we're going to beat the ever loving life out of it. Do you see how hard I'm trying not to swear? We're going to leave it alone for 5 minutes. As I tried to say before, I have a baking sheet here which I've lined with parchment paper. I've not lined it really well, there's a bit crumply at the corners, but it is what it is. Try and use parchment paper so that the fudge doesn't stick to your tin foil or your actual tin, and you can get it out so we can cut it dead nice. We have some coffee beans, and I think we're probably going to decorate the coffee with the coffee beans on top, but I don't know if we should cover them in chocolate or if we should just leave them like that, because they are really beautiful beans. I think they look really nice, so maybe we'll just keep them that way. I'm not too sure. So if you're still here, hello, thank you for still being here and watching Fudge. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to say that I do have a Patreon if you're willing to support me or would like to support me in any way, shape or form. I try and put updates and like wee videos and bloopers and stuff like that on there. There's different tiers. Some of them do say things about Discord. I don't use Discord anymore because I just don't have the time to socialise. So do please keep that in mind. But if you don't want to support me, that's also totally fine, because we are in a recession and there's a cost of living crisis happening. Anyway, let's beat this fudge. So essentially, there's a nice gloss to it. You can see right there, there's like a really nice gloss, and we're looking to get rid of that, right? Now you can absolutely probably use a stand mixer. I say absolutely probably. I wouldn't. I think you run the risk of over mixing, but if you use a stand mixer, you'd only need to mix for a minute or so. But I feel like I have more control over it by doing it this way. And then I'm scraping the edges and then seeing how thick it becomes. So with this fudge, the more you whip it, the crumblier it'll be. So if you like a chewy, sticky fudge, I wouldn't whisk it for very long. If you like a fudge that's almost actually like tablet, I'd whisk it forever. So that's your 2 gauges you're looking for. But you'll see, as I whisk it round, you'll see like there's a, as it like goes round like that, how it starts to slowly go in together. That will get slower and slower. I also find this very satisfying. I find just beating it off the sides of the pot like that really does the job for me. I don't know if you can see that or not, but on the side of the spatula, lines are starting to form, which like looks to me that it's starting to get there. You'll see yourself as well as you're scraping the sides, it's got like a thicker consistency. It's just, it's not as glossy, it's really thick, it's, I don't know how else to describe it. You see all the lines starting to stay. I hope you can anyway. So if I mix that round, like so, and do that, all the lines sort of stay on there. I think one more big beat and we should be good to go. Right, that's my one for luck. I'm done. I'm done. Get your dish. Get your fudge. Oh, look at that. Does that not just look delish? So all I'm doing just now is I'm trying to smooth it out and get it as even as possible. And then if you've got some left on your spatula, that's just an added bonus. When I was younger and my mum used to make tablet, what she would do is the spoon that was left over, she would do this and get like an actual spoon and give me and my brother a spoon. So whenever she made tablet, we would ask for a spoon, or she'd say, come get your spoon, and it was literally just a spoon worth of tablet that hasn't really set yet, and we could sit and munch on it. It was like a nice wee tradition that we used to do. So I carry that on by still scraping all the stuff off and keeping it on a wee spoon. So this will now go in the fridge for like 4 hours. I'm going to put it in for an hour, and then after that I'm going to decorate it with the beans. I don't want to put the beans on just now because it is really hot and I don't want any of the oil from the beans coming out and seeping onto the fudge. Having like wee pools of oil probably isn't ideal. So it's cooled down enough now, I'm just going to place some beans on. I'm just trying to guess where my cubes will be when I cut it. Boop. And then, because nobody wants a small piece of fudge, do you know what I mean? Boop. So now that I've got a wee grid, I'm just going to follow that down. I don't think you really need to watch me doing this, but you're here now, so... Oh, cheeky beggar. That one jumped right out the fudge. Right out. It's almost like it doesn't want to be submerged in tons and tons of sugar. Now before I see all the comments being like, who would eat coffee beans? Loads of people eat coffee beans. And do you know what? It's a decoration, and if you don't want to eat it, pick it out. And if you make this for someone and you come across them being like, I'd never eat a coffee bean, then just tell them to pick it out and grow up. Look at me getting angry about things that haven't happened. There we go, that's enough of me havering. I'm going to put this in the fridge till it's fully set, a couple of hours maybe, and then we'll cut it into wee cubes and then we'll eat it and we'll be happy. Hello, welcome back. A little bit late, and I was using sunlight, but now the sunlight's gone, so here we are in the darkness together. But our fudge is done and it looks amazing. Yeah, so we're going to cut it into squares using our beans as a guide. And what I'm going to do is just cut a couple just so you can see. I'm just going to cut this edge bit off here so it looks a wee bit nicer. Look at that. Look at that perfection. You could sell that in a shop. And it's not like tablet because it's squishy. Yeah. I've now ruined this piece. But yeah, that's your fudge. Fudge is made, everyone's happy, everyone's still good friends. So all I'm going to do now is cut it up really nice, put it in wee bowls, put it in wee bags so I can give them out for gifts. And yeah, we're done. I'm not going to put you through me cutting it into squares. You know how to cut a square. Also, if you don't know how to cut a square, cut whatever shape you want. It's your fudge, you do what you want. So that's it, we're done. So I used Coffee Brand coffee. The link to that shop is in the description below if you'd like to buy some of Jeremy's coffee. It's very nice. Again, I'm not sponsored, he hasn't asked me to make this video, I just like his coffee and I used it for my fudge. If you want to support me, as I've already mentioned, I have a Patreon, I also have merch, all the stuff for that is below. If you can't afford doing any of that, I totally understand, I totally get it. But you have a great day and thank you for watching my video on fudge and I'll see you next time. Bye!